So here's another video about the things that I shouldn't be talking about, and today we're going to be talking about the Apple IIe. I found this one about 2 months ago and it's yellowed to perfection. I've got to say, I absolutely love how yellow this one is. And lo and behold, it actually works. Oh. I got a whole load of floppy disks with it as well, so I think some of them I've got programs on them, I hope. Here we go. Apple, an introduction. Let's try that one. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Pop you in. Turn you on. Woo! Ooh, this ain't too quick at all. But it's pretty cool. Okay, we got a guy with a tractor. He's going to be picking up his carrots. And that's one of the many things that you can do if you have an Apple II. But yeah, in case you haven't guessed it, this isn't why we're here today. Oh no, sorry, oh no, do. Basically, I bought this because I thought it was a reasonable price before really knowing if there was any like really that useful music software. But then I remembered on 8-Bit Weapons website, there was a piece of software in a hazy memory in the past. I was like, oh, I'll search it up. And yeah, lo and behold, they have a piece of software that is for the Apple II. The Apple IIe, the 2C, the 2C Plus, or the 2GS. You've got the DMS and the DMS drummer. And this is the only piece of musical software that I really know for the Apple II. And I didn't even realise it actually comes with a MIDI interface. It's USB MIDI, but I'll try and find something that's usable with this. May not be in this video, we'll have a look, I'll figure that stuff out. But the thing that got me most excited about this was the drum machine. We'll look at the DMS, the actual synthesizer software, maybe later, maybe in another video, but right now I'm going to flick over to the other side and turn this beast of an Apple II into, yeah, a drum machine. Oh, I put it in the wrong way. Oh, look at that loading screen. DMS drummer. Damn straight. Oh, yeah. Oh, I should have really read that. Is it really that quiet? Is that how loud it's gonna be? The speaker inside the Apple II is absolutely tiny, and I don't actually think it's got an audio out speaker. No. So I think I'm gonna have to quickly modify this to make it plug into something so we can listen to it directly, and then we'll have another play. Oh man, I just love how like thick this plastic is. It's like, so inside this Apple II, thankfully, we have a serial expansion card because the actual MIDI interface that came with it requires a serial input, and it's got like a floppy disk expansion and this one, which I don't know, an 80 column screen like expansion card as well. That's crazy. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the speaker, which is right here actually. Oh, that's easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hijack this and basically just put a jack out on it. Okay, I will begin this modification by removing expansion port number 5 in the cover. Pop it back in like so. Woohoo! So the speaker's actually connected with a Molex connector. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to put a wire on this jack socket to a Molex connector, unplug the speaker and just pop it in. That's all I'm going to do. White as the tip of the jack and black as the ground. And then this side is going to be Molex. These are like little metal clips that sit inside the plastic parts. Yeah, they're just called crimp terminals. Funky. Get your crimper out. Do that. Pop that in there. A 2-pin Molex housing. I don't know which way around it's going to be, so I'm just going to put it randomly this, like this, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just turn it around. Audio. Expansion slot 5 never looks so good. Got continuity, so... Oh yeah. And there we go, speaker mod complete. Let's turn it on and hope it works. Okay, so I've got a jack cable plugged into the back of this thing and it should be recording. So I'm going to turn it on again and hopefully it's a little louder than the speaker in here, which is pretty abysmal. Yeah, lovely. It's thinking. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is scary. Okay, so there's a lot of different parameters on here that you can do. You can quit it. You can remove song file. Display this help section. Oh, you can copy the pattern. Okay. Home, H, start sequence. I've got to remember all of this, but whatever. I'm just going to have a go. So here we can see this is the edit pattern. I've literally made like one pattern recently. So I'm just going to quickly add those. But then I'm going to go down here, I'm going to add, these are different sounds, kick drum, rim shot, hand clap, all that stuff. So I'm just going to add a kick, let's keep it standard right now, just to show you what it's all about. And H, which goes home, and then... Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, well, you can hear there's a little bit of noise in the background. If you can see here, if you press F, you're able to flip between the speaker and the cassette output. I'm thinking that might be able to solve that noise issue, but whatever, I've done the modification now. So, yeah, another drum beat really quick. It's going to be the same, but then I'm going to add, like, some hi-hats. Screw it. Hi-hat, 6, 6, 6, 6. Right, let's try this. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, you're going to see it going along. Oh yeah, I'll skip it along a bit. So listen to my fill at the end of this one. Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. So it kind of sounds like a Lindrum. It's pretty cool. The next thing I'm actually going to do is try out this tone thing at the bottom. So basically this tone thing at the bottom, I have a feeling changes the tone. It's a little confusing. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to press play and see what happens. Oh, it did it. Lasers to these bits. I wonder if I can actually make these into a melody on top of the actual drums. And then it's like a one-channel tracker in a way. Anyway, so... Oh, that is amazing. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make these lasers into a melody by typing in the... So I need to type in the note. A, octave 3. Wait for the melody. Okay, it needs a little bit of work. This is probably not exactly what it was intended to, but I kind of just went down the whole tracker approach of trying to fit as much as you can into one line of like audio. I think it's going to be very difficult to make a song with just these samples and only one sample playing at once. You can literally only have one thing playing at once. So I've got to design the melody to fit in and around the snares and the kicks and all that stuff. So they can't be both happening at once. So I got a little bit of a way in. I was actually playing, I got carried away for like an hour. I was programming a few different things. I tried double speed, I tried half speed, I tried a few different things, but then I ran into an issue that there wasn't enough patterns to really do the double speed kind of song, so I had to go back. So I'm still working on that. Oh, if you can't smell that, which you can't, well, basically after an hour of having fun, I heard some frazzling. I managed to catch it on my iPhone, but the magic smoke was let out of the power supply. So first, before we carry on, we've got to fix that. Okay, so it's that age-old issue we have right here. You can see in there, we've got a stinky popped power filtering capacitor. It's the one that usually goes in most of these old things. By the way, there's these capacitors made by Reefer, and it's kind of just a matter of time before they pop.
Basically what happens is the plastic cracks, stuff gets inside them and kind of, you know, corrodes them and makes them become a short and then explode, and sometimes even set fire to things, which means that you probably can't leave stuff that have these in them unattended, really. These things are in a lot of mains powered machines in the like late 70s and 80s, so kind of have a look at those and replace them. Annoyingly, I haven't got a replacement for those. However, the machine will work without it. It kind of just filters out like spikes in the power supply. However, I have another power supply that is in a Apple II Euro Plus that has a load of rotten RAM chips that I never actually kind of finished fixing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out, order a new one of these for this power supply, and yeah.
Amazingly enough, they're both actually different sizes. However, you can see that they're both exactly the same, so hopefully it's a drop-in replacement. Even the screws are in the same place. Never even realised that the keyboards were different. Boom! Without further ado, let's carry on. That was a bit scary, that. So after a while I found out that there's only actually 16 patterns on each song, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, it's a drum machine. Most drum machines usually only have 16 patterns. And yeah, it only goes up to hexadecimal F. Because if you were to make a full song on a drum machine, you'd only be making, you know, the drum patterns. So 16 patterns is more than adequate. You know, I was kind of trying to push it to do something that it really wasn't made to do, which is fine, and you know, whatever. I also found that the modification that I did was completely pointless because there is a jack on the back already. I just didn't think about it. Of course, it's the cassette out jack, and if you press Shift F, like I mentioned before, it goes to the cassette output and it actually completely removes that noise that was happening before as well. So I managed to use the pitching on the resonance samples like tom and laser to my advantage for making bass lines and melody lines, so it worked out quite well. I tried to do double speed, but it kind of just went all a bit fluffy and weird. So this is the best I could find for making songs. However, it is well adequate for making normal drums. So I'll play track number 1. It's called The Mist of November's Past. Lovely! You'll notice that I'm trying to get as much as I can in between all the drum samples because obviously you only have one line of track and you can only play one sample at a time. So you kind of got to weigh up whether you want a bit of melody or you want a bit of drums in that point. But it's the risk I'm willing to take. But yeah, that's the DMS Drummer 2 on the Apple IIe. I didn't get to use the MIDI interface yet because it's USB input, and I haven't actually got anything that sends out USB input except for a computer. Now it would just be pointless because who makes music with a computer nowadays? But what I've done is I have managed to get hold of a USB host. So that basically takes the MIDI input and turns it into this, so I'll be able to use all of the MIDI implications in DMS Drummer, as well as DMS, the synth sequencer program that we haven't looked at yet. So in part 2 of this video, which I don't know when it will come, yeah, you'll see all of that. Needless to say, these 3 songs and a few other random things that I got on here are available on my Patreon. So if you want to download them and use them as kind of like drum loops, then go crazy. And yeah, and also a link to 8-Bit Weapons site, so if you want this and you've got an Apple II and you want to make music on it, then it's there. It's actually $60 for both of these together, which I think is pretty reasonable. I'm going to carry up right now. I'm going to go and work on the Game Boy Mega Machine. As you can see, I am on voice number 5. Ooh, exciting. Hopefully the next Game Boy Mega Machine video will be up soon, and I'm doing at least 2 updated vlogs a week on it over on the Patreon if you want to see like the inner thinkings and the workings of it as I'm building it. But anyway, I've been looking at my computer. I'm going to go and get on with it, and don't forget to subscribe and all that jazz.